My wife said, mature adults stay friends with their exes. My wife Lauren waited until we were at her parents' house for dinner to tell me this. She said, Jason moved back to town. My fork stopped halfway to my mouth. I asked, my ex Jason? She nodded and pulled out her phone to show me their messages. 3 weeks of texts I never knew about. Good morning messages every day, late night conversations, heart emojis scattered throughout. She said, I want him in our lives, as a friend. Her mother set down her fork hard enough to make a noise. Her mother said, Lauren, that's inappropriate. Lauren turned on her mother with this cold look I'd never seen before. She said, mature adults can stay friends with their exes, unless someone's too insecure to handle it. She stared right at me when she said insecure. My face burned. Her dad gave me this pitying look that made it worse. I kept scrolling through her phone. Yesterday at 2 a.m. he wrote, can't wait to see you. My hands started shaking. She said, he needs support through his divorce. I'm going to be there for him. Not asking me, telling me. I said, fine, we can be friends with our exes. All of them. The next day, Lauren met Jason for lunch. She came home practically glowing about how great it was to reconnect. I felt sick listening to her. The day after that, Jason showed up at our house while I was at work. Lauren texted me a photo of them on our couch with wine glasses. When I got home, his cologne was everywhere, and I wanted to throw up. The third day, I came home early with a headache. I found them looking through old college albums on the floor. Lauren was wearing the red dress that had been buried in our closet for 2 years, the one she wore on our second date. My stomach dropped seeing her in it for him. She said, just reminiscing. Jason didn't even look up at me in my own house. That night, they went to dinner alone, she said, to help him through his divorce. She came home after midnight smelling like wine and him. The next morning, I called Amanda from college. We met for coffee and talked for 2 hours. When I got home, Lauren was texting on the couch. She asked, where were you? I said, having coffee with Amanda. Her thumb froze over her phone. She asked, your ex Amanda? I said, yeah, mature adults can be friends with their exes, right? She sat up straight and her face went red. She said, that's completely different. I asked, how? She opened her mouth, but no words came out. 2 weeks later, Amanda called me. Her roommate had suddenly moved out and she needed a place while apartment hunting. I told Lauren at dinner she can stay in our guest room. Lauren's fork clattered on her plate. She said, absolutely not. I asked, why not? Jason's here constantly. She said, he doesn't sleep here. I said, he stays until midnight. Her eye literally twitched. She said, 1 week maximum. Amanda stayed 3 weeks. She made breakfast every morning in shorts and tank tops that made Lauren's jaw clench. She laughed at all my jokes and touched my shoulder when she passed. Then I discovered Lauren had given Jason our spare key. I came home sick from work and found him on our couch watching TV. My own couch in my own house. Lauren explained later, for emergencies. Lauren's birthday came and she announced Jason was joining us for dinner. I said, perfect. Amanda will love that restaurant. That night, Jason reminisced about their Mexico trip while touching her hand. I watched Lauren lean into it. Amanda mentioned still wearing the necklace I gave her. Lauren knocked over her wine glass and it went everywhere. Everything unraveled fast after that. Jason practically lived with us now. He was on our couch every night when I got home. He called Lauren at midnight about his problems while I lay next to her in bed. He took my seat at dinner like he belonged there. So Amanda started calling me crying about her bad dates. I would leave to comfort her and sometimes didn't come home until morning. I told Lauren, just being a supportive friend, like you with Jason. She would glare at me while Jason sat between us eating the dinner she made. Lauren's parents' 40th anniversary arrived. Lauren brought Jason anyway. I brought Amanda. Lauren's mom saw all 4 of us walk in together and her face went white. During toasts, Jason stood up and called Lauren the one that got away. He said, I never stopped loving her. The room went dead silent. Amanda gave her own speech about second chances while staring at me. Lauren's parents walked out of their own party. Next morning, Lauren waited in the kitchen. She said, Amanda leaves today or we're done. I said, you first. She stepped closer and said, choose, her or me. I pulled out my phone and showed her Jason's text from 2 a.m. Can't stop thinking about last night. The door opened. Jason walked in with his key.